Hey everybody, this is Grace, and today is January 23rd, 2020. Not 2020, 2021. 2021. Man. But anyway, I really haven't been making many videos since sometime around probably October, whenever. I've made some and I wouldn't make them public, but not as many as I used to, with everything going on since then. Oh my goodness, including the holidays. It just now feels like life can return to normal, with the holidays and everything else. Not really normal, we all know that at this point, eventually, we hope. And, but it felt like a couple of days ago, I'm not going to say the name of a few days ago, not a couple. Well, depends on how you define a couple. I've always defined it as two. Anyway, well, I guess I could say that's when things started to feel like that, I could return to normal. And it was like a New Year's plus. A New Year started where there wouldn't be so much on TV to watch on the news. Oh my goodness. And hopefully things just settle down. I know it's going to take a little while, but all around, so I can get back to some kind of normal routine or semi-normal routine. Before it was just I was so stressed on everything. So much to be stressed about. And I know it affected me in various ways. And like I've heard people say, it could trigger people, who have, I think it could trigger anybody. And whether you've been through something bad or not. But anyway, one of the things I did make a couple of videos. I made on my original channel, which I started over 6 years ago, right over 6 years ago. And then my other channel I made after that for a different topic. I made this video, okay? And I think I should have just made it for this channel because I need to stick to what this channel is about. I named it, or changed the name at one point and named it Alternative Viewpoints. Okay, and that's what I had planned to do with it. But I just kept putting things that, ran at random on it. Really. Maybe I didn't like them that much or whatever it was. It was just so random. And, but I think I should, switch to this channel for, when I hear like people say something, whether it's in person. Well, I haven't been in person with people in a long while. Or online, whether it's videos or written, whatever, or people I know, and I'll state where I saw it and all that. I'm not one to copycat, but I'll say it wasn't my original thought. I don't copycat that way. I really dislike people who do. And I'll probably make them like this because it's just too noisy in the house, pretty much all the time. And I had been having some really bad issues with Wi-Fi. And the last time the Wi-Fi went out, I wasn't able to upload or edit or, anything on my cell phone, which is where I usually make them, because of the Wi-Fi issues. And it had started like March of 2020. And, but I called them, the electricity, the cable, the whole thing, went out. And I told the woman about it. I said, do you know anything about this, what they had told me? And I told her, and she said, I've never heard that before. And after that, I started testing it to see if it was still going to do that, and it hasn't. So I don't know whether that reset, we've had it reset before, whether that was what did it, the trick, or what, I don't know. So I guess we shall see. Anyway, so maybe I'll be able to upload and everything, get more videos done. I plan on I'm planning on it. That doesn't mean it will happen. I plan on making them more consistent. Probably like at least every Saturday, have a video up, and more on topic of alternative viewpoints, and really. Right now, what I'm seeing that I'm going to do is more talking about when, like I said, when people say something that doesn't seem like they're adding it right to, adding it together right, or just thoughts or experiences that I've had overall, and they're just not adding two and two together the way I would. Okay, so to each their own, unless it's harmful to somebody, and I have my opinions on things. Okay, and I have lived a life of people thinking that I shouldn't have any opinions on anything, or not just me, of course, but other people too. But I'm starting to speak out. Well, I've always spoken, but still, no matter what they think. But some things I wouldn't. But yeah, I have my right to my opinions, and that's what I'm going to do. And sometimes I might play, which I don't like this expression. Never did, devil's advocate. I never liked saying that. Why would I advocate for the devil? But I know what it means. It doesn't mean that, but at the same time, I just don't like the term, and I really don't. But there is one thing that is, to get to this point, there's one thing that's been really on my mind since this, really before last year, probably going back as far as, I don't remember exactly, but I'm thinking in 2018, more probably at the end of it maybe, I don't know. That's really bothered me. It's about like delivery services. It's probably been more years than that. There's so many different types of delivery services, and like you can just get something through the mail kind of thing, to all the way to all these these different kind of delivery services for food, groceries, whatever. Okay, and ordering from the big companies, and but what's really been on my mind is that a lot lately, more and more. And I do appreciate them. I do appreciate the ones that deserve being appreciated. But lately, I guess within the last month or two, I started seeing some online, and the way they spoke about customers. Oh, and like I said, I had made 2 videos, and that's what I had made them on. One on my original channel, one I made right after it. And I should have stuck to this one on it. But I do want to go through, pardon the rain you're seeing, but that's what it was. I kind of like that look better. But part of it, really, I would need to go back and stick on this channel with this thought of at least one channel to stick to it, is I have said in the past that I live in what I call Narcissism-Ville. Okay? And I separated it out because I want the narcissism part to stick out without the word looking really strange. If you don't put it like a hyphen, hyphenate it, it looks really strange when you read the word Narcissism-Ville all as one. Yeah, really strange. But I have done videos over years about this topic. Where I live, it's where I live, it had a reputation. Well, the thing about it is, it's not the whole place, of course, and it's not everybody, of course, but this suburb of Dallas had a reputation for people with high sense of entitlement, and the whole thing, you can go on, and it's about narcissism and everything, but it's really not just this suburb. Okay, it's not all of this suburb, like I just said. But it also includes other suburbs and parts of them, and not everybody is like that. I am definitely not one of the people who say all or nothing, black or white, this whole kind of bipolar or polarized kind of thing. I'm just not. I've heard too many lately that I've picked up that habit, and I'm trying to correct it. It's tough when you pick it up. Yeah, because I say, well, everybody knows it. No, everybody doesn't know that. Everybody does this. No, everybody doesn't do that. I'm not one to really generalize that into basically stating, though, everybody or everything or all or none or never or whatever. So, but I do want to talk. I'm going to start more with the history. Not really history, but some of the things I've seen, I didn't make videos, like I said, mainly on my second channel, and about it. And the attitude is there quite often, not always, again, quite often, and not in everybody. I'm stressing that, but the attitude is quite a bit as I was I'm a homemaker, and I did most of the things of going to stores, whatever it was, not even just stores, of course, whatever it was I went to, and I would go like every day, usually, to somewhere else, to some place of business, at least once, maybe more, maybe one or more per day. And I had to deal a lot with the public, which is why I think I got, 2020, and it was early in February, or late January, early February, but no test back then, no anybody testing time. But anyway, so I was wanted to go. And I would see so much of what I would even call narcissism, narcissistic behaviors of other people, including people working for these places. It stood out. If they had the reputation, I didn't give it the reputation like many years ago. I think I first heard about maybe 30 years ago or so. So it was, and it's there. I'm a social and behavioral scientist. It stuck out. It sticks out here. And since 2020, I have only been into one store, and it was to go to a pharmacy, see a pharmacist, because my doctor told me to. One, okay, once in all this time, so almost a year. Okay, I've been through drive-through, but it was like 3.5 months, 3 or so months. I think we said 3 months and 10 days. We didn't go anywhere to any place. We finally started doing the drive-through, pick up food or something. Not very often, but I think I've probably been like 7 times, or maybe a little more, I don't know. But dealing with the public, not having to deal with the public, my blood pressure started to get lower and lower and lower, of course. I'm not a doctor, but yeah. And it surprised me. And anytime I'm serious, like the other day, the last time, or maybe it was the time before, it wasn't the other day, I went through a drive-through, and there was a young man, and this was the second time something like this happened, similar. The guy at the drive-through, the one took my order, and the money and all that, he had a mask on, which is mandatory in Texas and has been for a long time. He had one on, but he kept pulling it down to talk. And I told him, I said, that goes on your face. Or, says something like that. It really, really ticked me off. Okay. And I kept it cool, but I was ticked off. And Adam was with me, and he was like, they never learn. And so I told him, and he said, well, and he walked off. And I'm like, how much is that defeating the purpose? Let's think about that. It's defeating the purpose. He takes it down so he can speak. Oh, there was one place, the one I went to before that, they weren't, the guy wasn't even wearing it. And there I could go on. So those few times I go, there's going to be something like that. But not always. But see what I said? I'm too used to people talking like that, speaking like that. Anyway. But it's like, I don't even want to go to a drive-through because there's going to be some kind of drama. There's going to be some kind of COVID-idiots at the drive-through. There was one time, and I got sick after that. And she was doing something. I think putting it under her chin. And I wanted to speak to the manager. The manager came up there, and she acted like she didn't understand me. Come on, she understood me. And so I called their corporate office, and the woman was real apologetic. She said, yeah, they shouldn't be doing that. She offered me some coupons. I said, why would I take coupons? I have no intention of ever going back to that. And it's a chain. And I'm not going to go back to that. I'm not, really. I had gotten sick years ago at not that location, but another one, really bad. And so it was years. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I've had some things, like one of them I called and the phone number to ask what what happened to with this order I had. And the phone was either disconnected or, anyway, it took me a while to find one and to ask. And the guy said, no, I just want to report this. This was really bad and it tasted awful and all this. He started telling me what they did wrong. I said, I don't care what they did wrong. I'm trying to tell you. These kinds of things. I want to talk about these kinds of things. And, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what it was. It was supposed to have a hamburger on it. Not a hamburger patty, but, hamburger meat. And it looked like little bitty beads. Seriously, like you would wear on your neck or on your wrist. Little bitty tiny beads. And I mean, if I just put a needle through them, I'd make a necklace, And it was weird, okay? And he started telling me, well, the reason they did that is because they didn't do this. I said, I don't care. This is it. I wasn't really rude, but I let him know. And I said, I want this reported to to them and your district manager and sometimes I'll say, and I want you to report it to your corporate office, and I'm going to call and make sure you did. I developed an attitude. And the whole thing about it is, if nobody tells them, that they got egg on their face kind of thing, how are they going to learn? Really, we have lived in a world where people are just, they don't want to say, hey, you must have dropped some ketchup on your shirt or some mustard on your shirt, or, you have egg on your face, literally, or, your hair's sticking up in the back, or like I had an experience one time. I had to tell a woman that the back of her dress was in her pantyhose, and that wasn't that many years ago. And I felt nobody else was telling her, and she was walking in this building. We were in a Cupeville, and so I told her. She got mad at me, kill the messenger kind of thing. Yeah, but I feel like we need to tell one another. I had a boyfriend one time, and I had, I had toothpaste, and he didn't tell me until we got up to the window. We were in the drive-thru. This is many years ago. And he didn't tell me until then, and he started laughing. He thought it was funny. Well, I didn't think that was so funny. Why do you want to hurt and humiliate someone or let them get hurt and humiliated by others? Where you can gently take them aside and say, this is what's going on. People have different views on that. They do. But I think we've become too much of where too many people are so much within themselves that they're only thinking about themselves. They might not even notice that this other person has an issue going on that, they need to pull them aside and say, hey, seriously. And, that was stream of consciousness. At least it makes more sense than some of mine used to. Some of mine I was like, oh my goodness. But, yeah. I still made them public. I didn't care. I did, but, yeah. That's another thing I think people have different views on, is how much are you concerned about what others think? I know I've done videos about stuff like that. But, what others think of you. Okay, I think there's some part of the population they think that's all they do think about that. And others, they don't care. I'm more, like I say, I'm not all or nothing. I'm not extremes. I'm more in the middle. So I'm an independent even. Talk about, yeah. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I think I've summed up enough. And I do want to get started. But like I said, I put one on that channel, and people liked it. About this with the delivery services. Like I said, I appreciate what they do, but I appreciate the ones that deserve it, not the ones who are rude, okay, or really screw up and then try to blame it on us and all that kind of stuff. I'll get into videos about it. Okay, that's enough of this one for now. Talk to you on another video.